Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and whatever time of the day it is for you. And welcome to another installment of Dear Deja. And also, welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel, where we focus on humor, healing, and hot topics. Today, of course, we're going to center some of our talk around healing with our Dear Deja letter. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to my channel and welcome. I hope you like my content. Also, if you're not new here, make sure you hit the thumbs up and make sure you like the video because, like I said, that's your way of showing support and getting me in the algorithm for free. Also, please stick around for the remainder of the commentary because I want to know your feedback. What did you think about the advice I gave from this Dear Deja letter? Would you do something differently? Did you like the advice that I gave? And so on and so forth. All right. So let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. You know I gotta put my glasses on them. Oh. Uh. And my eyebrows probably look a little crazy in this video because I did some microblading and I'm going through the healing process of that. Okay. Right. Okay. Here we go. Dear Deja, I got engaged 3 years ago and gave birth 18 months ago. Two of what I feel are my biggest accomplishments. 6 months ago, my fiance said he wants to start wedding planning because we want to tie the knot Valentine's Day 2025. I am elated. My man and I started picking up extra work to help pay for this lavish wedding we're planning. Great. But unlike my fiance, my ass needs to lose some weight. So I got back in the gym. As soon as I joined the gym, I ran into one of my little brother's childhood friends who had gone away to the military but is home now. We chopped it up as I hadn't seen him in forever, and he informed me that he is now into personal training. He also said as a wedding present he would train me for free. I was happy as hell because first of all I didn't know what I was doing with that gym equipment, and secondly I don't have to dip in my wedding funds to get the job done. I came home so excited to tell my fiance the good news, but he was not happy at all to hear it. He shut the shit down and we got into a nasty and very much heated argument. That exchange left me feeling like my man of 10 years doesn't trust me enough to let me be trained by another man, and I can't fathom why, seeing as though there's never been any infidelity issues in our relationship, at least none on my part. That argument got so heated and nasty that it has me rethinking this whole wedding, marriage, and more importantly, relationship. Am I overthinking this or is he? Please send help. Signed, a bride that's about to slide. Vicky. It was something. Y'all taking a glass. Y'all taking a mug. Tell the truth. Y'all ain't know I was going to take it there, right? IOD or nah. But anyway, so cute, right? You get some still shots. Anyway, no. Let me get back to the Dear DJ letter. Okay. All right. A bride that's about to slide. I like that signature. I thought that was very cute. Um, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. First off, let me congratulate you. It's a beautiful thing for you to be a new mom, a new fiance. All of those things are beautiful. So let me first start off by saying congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I'm happy to hear two of the most biggest accomplishments in your life make you happy. They came into fruition. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? Um, am I overthinking this or is he? So let's heal up, wheel up, bring it back, come rewind, right? One of the things that stood out for me that you said was that there has not been any infidelity issues on your part in your relationship, at least none on your part. So that has me wondering, has there been infidelity issues on his part? Because what I do know is sometimes I've seen this quite often, and it's also happened to me in my past situations. Sometimes when people know that they've done something such as like cheating or, anything of the sort in a situation, even though they have been forgiven and folks decide that they're going to move on, there's always still that tinge of doubt in the back of the other person's mind because they may feel like, are you going to try to get me back? Right. So that could be, some of what's taking place if there was some infidelity on his part. But you didn't kind of clarify. You just implied that. You didn't actually say it. So I don't want to assume that there was. The moral of the story here is, and what it sounds like you're asking me for advice about, is to know if you're overthinking ending your whole relationship because your man don't trust you. Right? And I feel two ways about this situation. Right? One of the things that I feel is that sometimes men, they have this weird way of looking at how we deal with other men. Right? So, like, I know a lot of times my boyfriend will say, well, it has nothing to do with me not trusting you, but everything to do with what the other person might want, from you, right? And my rebuttal is always back to him is, what does that have to do with me, though? It doesn't matter what the person wants from me. As long as you know that I'm going to stand 10 toes down solid and what I'm not going to do, that's all you need to be worried about, right? But I do hear men often use that, like, it's not really about you and me not trusting you. It's more so about me not trusting the other person. Right? So that could be one part of what's taking place here. Why, your boo might feel like, I don't want him training you, because training, in my opinion, it can be a little bit of intimacy there. And not romantic or sexual intimacy, but intimacy nonetheless. A person is showing you how to do moves, so they might have to put their hands on you physically. They might have to bend you, stretch you, lift you, and things of that nature. And I can see a spouse feeling like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? When they see a person bending, stretching, or lifting you, right? So I could understand some of the frustrations there. But once again, going back to the whole, if you trust me, then you should be able to trust and know that no matter how he bends and stretches and lifts me, I will still make sure that I'm respectful of our relationship and that it's done appropriately. Because that's another thing. It's one thing for a person to be stretching you in a training session, and it's another thing for a person to be a perv and they trying to get a free fill. I think you as an adult, you would know the difference, right? So that's something that could be definitely what the issue could be is, he could be looking at it as, well, personal training is intimate and I don't want nobody being intimate with my fiance. Let me also say this, because we have to scale down to what you feel is the root of the problem, and I understand why you could feel that way. The trust. It is hurtful. And I can agree with you when you say that. It is hurtful to know that a person that you love and care about does not trust you. It is very hurtful. I always tell folks I'd rather be trusted than loved. The highest honor for me is to be trusted, because it's a lot of people in this world who love people, but they do not trust them. And for me, I can see how that is, because, people have done things, people have been through things, so on and so forth. So I could understand, you feeling a way about some of the things he has shared, because it does imply that he does not trust you. And I don't know necessarily if it's only about you. So my first suggestion would be, maybe you guys need to communicate a little bit more in depth about this situation, and a little less heated. Because it sounded like y'all didn't go into it to have a conversation. It sounded like you had an argument. Right? And having an argument about a topic that you guys are trying to resolve, it doesn't help the situation. Right? Some things are said and done, and that doesn't make either one of you happy. And more importantly, you don't get to the root of the issue to get a resolution. I remember I read a quote that said, when you and your spouse are having a disagreement, remember it's you and your spouse versus the disagreement, not you and your spouse versus each other. And I really use that in my relationship, because I know that I can have the tendency sometimes to get defensive and be argumentative. And if we're having an issue, if I'm on the defense and my boots are strapped up and I'm ready to go guns blazing, then I don't give a fuck about the issue. I give a fuck about getting my fucking point across, saying what the fuck I need to say, and getting you motherfuckers together. Okay. Right? And in doing so, after I did all of those things to, boost my pride and ego, I still don't feel good, because now I'm at war with my spouse. And that's definitely not what I wanted, or what is this here sticking up? What I wanted, or what I came in this for. So what I would suggest is you guys try to go back in and have the conversation when the emotions have come down a little bit. right? Because I think if you're both going into it guns blazing and you both have a point of, listen, I don't want you doing this and you shouldn't be doing that, and I'm doing this, I'm doing what the fuck I want to do, it is going to cause an argument because you both are standing on top of your heels and you're not willing to come down. And there has to be some compromise made if we want to find a resolution, right? I think I know for me, when I approach conversations with Pookie, I want to get my way, right? Okay, but even at times, if I can't always get my way 100%, I want to get my way 50, right? So I usually try to step in to the conversation, understanding where they're coming from, and giving him rather some information about what I heard, right? So, case in point, let me see if I can give an example so I can land the plane. A while ago, Pookie and I had a conversation about family members and family members disrespecting spouses, right? And we were having a conversation about the character of some of our family members and what could be allowed and couldn't be allowed. And I remember he and I had reached a fork in the road because, in my opinion, what he viewed as disrespect, I didn't view it the same. So I felt like if it ever happened, he shouldn't feel disrespected, right? And for him, it was like, no. If I feel disrespected, whether it's your family or not, I do not have to stand for that, Khadija. So him and I got into a little back and forth because my whole thing was, well, do you think you're going to disrespect my family? And his whole thing was, you think somebody in your family going to disrespect me? Right? So it became a huge back and forth between he and I. So, of course, I was upset. Of course, he's standing on his hill, right? And when I went back to try to have the conversations and take the emotions out of it, before I even opened the conversation about what I didn't like or what I wanted, I started to express to him what I heard him say he wanted, right? So I said, when I sat back and I listened, I think I'm hearing you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that gave him the opportunity to say, well, no, I was not saying 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Or, yeah, I was saying 1 and 2, you made up 3, 4, 5. Or that's exactly what I'm saying, right? And once I shared with him what I heard, he was able to let me know, hey, I didn't say that this is how I feel, so on and so forth, right? So now that I've opened the floodgates for him to know that I heard you, I'm taking in how you feel. Now he's open to hearing me and taking in how I feel, right? And at this moment, we're not yelling, screaming, or arguing because there's not so many negative emotions involved in this conversation. It's just him and I simply expressing what we feel, right, to one another, right? So I think that one of the things that you cannot do is go back into this when all the emotions are at the forefront, because it seems like when you did the last time, it caused an argument. And I don't think that was your intention, because like you said, I came home excited to tell my boo that, I found a way for us to cut corners so we don't have to dip in our wedding money, and here he is looking at you like you did something bad when actually you feel like I did something good, right? Which could be another reason why you kind of got upset too, is because maybe you were a little defensive about, I didn't do anything wrong here, and you didn't, and neither did he. He didn't do anything wrong either, because I'm allowed to express how I feel. That's whether you like those feelings or not. You know what I'm saying? So I think that removing some of the emotion out of it, I don't know if that's going to take some days. I don't know if that's going to take some self-assessing. I don't know if that's going to take a healing heart session. But removing some of the emotion out of the conversation can help, right? Opening up the conversation with what you heard him say, right? Because like I said, when you share with people what you heard them say, it, number one, makes them feel heard, and it also helps them gain an appreciation for you even considering how they feel enough to listen, right? Okay, that's the start of it. Getting through this here, girlfriend. When I talk to people in healing heart sessions, we do a lot of confidence building. And one of the things that I say during the confidence building sessions is, let's talk about your needs, versus your wants, right? So I always give the example. I say, well, I want a billionaire, right? I need a man that shows me respect, right? So, me personally, if I don't have a billionaire, but I have a man that treats me with respect, we can work out the funding situation, right? I tell people, what are your needs? One of my needs is actually to be trusted, right? Because I feel like I represent a level of integrity that I don't feel most people do. And I think I earn people's trust. So for a person to say, especially a person that I have built a connection with, that they don't trust me, is not a person that I can engage with, because trust is what I need. So now you have to think about, my dear, what do you need? What do you need? Do you need for your boyfriend to be a little bit jealous when you engage or interact with another man? Or do you need him to trust you? And whatever you need, you have to stand 10 toes down on it. Because what I will say is, folks always go into situations focusing on their wants. I want, I want, I want, I want, I want. And you can get everything that you want. But if your needs are not being met, I don't care how much of your wants you get, you still won't be happy. You still will not be happy. So you have to factor in, is trust something that you need? Because if you don't feel like you're being trusted in your relationship, and trust is something you need, then you have to make a decision, my dear. And that decision has to be contingent upon you and your needs. And I figured, I could be wrong, but I highly doubt it. I figured that the reason why you chose your spouse is because he has a way of fulfilling your needs. Is trust something that you need? I know some women who feel like they need their man to be a little jealous. I need you to be a little jealous and a little insecure about me, because then you will value me more. I've actually heard women say this, right? That's what they need. So sometimes if they encounter a man that's, maybe solid and secure about, this is my woman and she ain't going to do nothing and she ain't going to go nowhere, it's a turn off for them. Because for them, that's not what they need. So let's really think about and factor in what you need. What you need. Do you need your boo to be a little jealous and this is okay with you? Do you need 100 complete blind trust? What do you need? Because if this is an issue for you because someone not trusting you is an issue for you because trust is something you need, then you have to reevaluate, my dear. And I only say that because, once again, what I've seen in this life is that when folks don't get what they need, in the end, they always suffer, even if they have everything that they could have ever wanted. What do you need? Right? So, okay, one is we're approaching the conversation without emotion. And I don't mean without meaning I don't feel nothing, I just want to have this talk. No, I mean without overreacting because of emotion, right? That's what I mean. So the yelling, the screaming, the not giving the other person an opportunity to express what they feel, the things that happen in arguments. That's what I mean about, not approaching this situation with emotion. Secondly, is also maybe approaching it with, conveying to him what you heard him say, right? So everything that you heard him say when you guys were in the heat of the moment, maybe you can kind of regurgitate that to him so he can let you know if you're actually hearing him correctly or not. Third, being clear before you even approach anything on what you need. And I can't imagine, if you guys have been together for 10 years, that he's unaware of that. He probably knows what you need, right? But I mean, there's nothing wrong with the refresher course. Also, couples have to keep in mind needs change. Needs change. Prior to dating Pookie, I dated quite a few broke men because, in my opinion, money didn't matter. I always have money. That's one thing I praise God for. I always have money. Do I always spend it wisely? No. But do I always have money? Yes. God takes care of me financially. And I'm very grateful to God for that, right? So prior to Pookie, it wasn't a requirement for me to have a man with money, right? But as I got older, right, and things started to change, the relationship before Pookie that I had, I started to need money. And not because I need you to sustain my life, to take care of me. No, I've been taking care of myself since I was a teenager. I'm very good at doing so, single or in a relationship. But I do know that in order for me to do the things that I like to do, which is vacation, go to Luray, nails, female maintenance, my man needs to have money. That wasn't my need 5 years ago. Right? So maybe you guys need a refresher course and what both of your needs are, because you want to hear him as well. Because I'm trying to get women to subscribe to happy spouse, happy house, as opposed to happy wife, happy life. Right? And I know my lady's going to curse me out for that. I know that sounds crazy, but I also know that most times men are the ones that are cheating in relationships because they are not happy, but so busy trying to make their wife happy. So, what I will say is this. If you subscribe to the whole happy spouse, happy house, then everybody needs to get met. And we can all flourish and grow together. Okay, so those are 3 of the strong points that I want to give you upon initial approach, right, my dear? Because I do believe that, first of all, I believe in the power of love. Let's start there. I believe in the power of love. From your letter, you said you have 10 years with this man. You said that you guys just had a baby. You said that he proposed to you. I believe there is an immense level of love there, right? And one thing I know about love, it supersedes and transcends anything. Anything. Right? So I do think that you guys can get past this from all the history that you guys have and the love that you share. But both of you have to be willing to do so. And I want to be at this lavish wedding, okay, right? I don't want, to miss out on the love. I love love. Me and Pookie want to be there battling the rest of the couples. Hey, doing the electric slide, So I think that you guys, hopefully, if approached in the proper way, could get past this situation and push through with your nuptials. You deserve it. He deserves it. Love deserves it, right? But you guys have to be really, 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 really willing to do the work. Let me say that again. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to be willing to do the work. Nobody is exempt from the work. 70 and 80-year-olds still have to do the work. Everybody has to do the work. Nobody's exempt from the work. Okay, so you guys are going to have to push through. You're going to have to push through. But praise God for Operation Heal 100 Hearts, because now you have some tools to work with to push through. So like I said, let's take the emotion out of it. Let's be able to transfer to one another what you heard one another said. Let's talk about your needs, if they've changed, if they're still the same, if you need a refresher course on what they are, and vice versa. And let's move forward. Alrighty, my dear. So I hope I was really able to help, because I want to see you guys make it. I want to see you guys make it. Remember what I said. Love transcends. Okay? I know so many things that love alone can do that nothing else in this world can do. Okay, I believe in the power of love. I know that sounds cliche, right? In any event, if you're new here, you just got here, don't leave. Subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up, and now I want you to drop down in the commentary space, in the comment section, and leave your commentary. I want to hear, do you have any more tips for the young lady to use? Do you think that some of what I said was like, DJ, I don't know if that's going to work out? Or would you like to add on? Or are you battling the same situation and these tips help for you? Let's get down in the comment section and really have a discussion about these Dear DJ letters, because even though I'm the one here providing the feedback on camera, I want to hear the feedback from everybody. Teamwork makes a dream work, right? Hopefully, my dear, I'll be able to see you and your fiance for a couple of Healing Heart sessions before your nuptials. I would love that. In any event, thank you guys for tuning in. I love and appreciate you guys, and I will see you soon.